And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we're going to be talking about the expectations of the Washington Commanders and has it really changed? And also, too, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Washington Commanders versus the Cleveland Browns coming up here Sunday. Washington coming in with a lot of momentum as they are now 3-1, winning the last couple of games with the Bengals, the Giants, and then also to the Arizona Cardinals. So looking very good rolling in here. But with the question of the day, have the Commanders' expectations changed? And I think that, yes, it has to have changed. I think that each week, the expectations have changed and gotten even a little bit higher. I think that the goal has to go higher as you continue to see the success of this team. And so the one thing that I've loved about this, and I said this back in video one, I felt like if you could score anywhere from 20 to 24 points a game, and if you were able to just figure it out somewhat on the defensive end, I felt like the Washington Commanders were going to be in a lot of games and give themselves some opportunity to be successful. And so since that time, they have taken off on offense, and I think the key for their offense is just they have found an identity. That is something that, as a Washington fan, we have really lacked for quite some time, and that is an identity. And I think that that identity for this Washington Commanders team is they're going to want to run the football. They're going to want to pound the other team, pretty much into submission that way. I think that it really helps us a lot as we continue to dominate as far as the time of possession, keeping a defense on the field, because even if they're an elite defense, if you're able to run the football, you're able to shorten the chains. That means that that is going to be a great thing for your offensive coordinator, for your quarterback as well, not having to go ahead and now go against long third down situations. That's always going to be key and critical, because as you continue to keep the third down conversions, that's going to help your football team win a lot of games. And so I just think that with this identity, with the Washington Commanders running the football on defenses, that is something that we can absolutely lean on. And that's just a want to. And I think that this is something that we as Washington Commanders fans have wanted. We didn't get enough of that last year, and we are finally seeing that the team is trusting running the football with Brian Robinson Jr. Then also, too, with Austin Eckler, who is coming back this week against the Cleveland Browns. I think we're going to see some more of that. And obviously, with just how dynamic Jaden Daniels has been in the open field, yes, running the football is key. And so on top of the expectations changing, I think defensively we have gotten better. And so the expectations have gotten better there. I think that now you're starting to see that players are a bit more comfortable running Dan Quinn's system at this point in time. I talked about the fact that last week they were able to get some natural pressures on Kyler Murray. And I know that it is just one game, but there was some improvement here. I mean, if they can continue to tackle well, right, and then also to stay disciplined and get home without calling a lot of blitzes, I think that this is going to be a huge step for this defense. And I can see that, yes, the level of expectation is going to rise defensively as they go along. The one thing that they do obviously have to tighten up is the secondary play, but you can see that that is starting to really start to take another level now. I think that the Commanders are trying to keep things in front of them and really make opposing offenses work the entire field. And so I think that that is going to play into the strength of what Dan Quinn wants to do. So those expectations are slowly starting to rise. You're starting to see that the players that have come over to us in the offseason, we're now starting to see that they're living up to those expectations. And so, as far as winning this division, I think that the expectation has to be real for the Washington Commanders, and I think that they can do it. I think that, teams are really leaving the door open for the Commanders. I mean, coming into this thing, I don't think Vegas had them finishing next to last in this division. And I think that that is changing, because right now we're at 3 wins. If they were expecting us to win six games, I think that we are trending towards getting past 6 games. I feel like if this Washington Commanders team can at least win 8 to 9, they're going to be in the playoffs. And the NFC East, really, it's just been a revolving door at the top as far as division winners. I don't think there's been back-to-back winners of this division. So the Washington Commanders they have a golden opportunity, and especially they can continue to extend their lead this weekend if they're able to win against Cleveland at home. I think the Dallas Cowboys at 2-2, you're starting to see that that football team is starting to really hurt from losing Dan Quinn on the defensive end. Then also, too, you can see from a free agent standpoint that the Dallas Cowboys are hurting because their running game is not the same as it has been before. The offensive line is not the same as well. And so they're really taking some hits as a football team. And I think that they are struggling this year, and it's going to be tough for them to overcome that. And with the Philadelphia Eagles, yes, they went out, they made a huge move by getting Saquon Barkley, but they are still struggling because they have not figured out the things that hurt them last season, and that was working in the secondary. Like they could not stop anything in the secondary. That seems to have trickled over to this year. And then offensively, they're struggling to move the football. I get that they are down a couple wide receivers and things like that, but it's been very challenging for Jalen Hurts and this offense to move the football like they did before. So I think that that is going to be an issue for the Philadelphia Eagles because it looks like they still have last year lingering. And the Washington Commanders, at this point, I think that they're playing with house money. I mean, nobody anticipated that they would come out this well. Nobody anticipated that Jaden Daniels was going to be this good this early. And so I think that Jaden Daniels himself would probably tell you the expectations have changed a bit for him. I don't think that he's coming into this thing saying, oh, okay, we're comfortable with where we are. I feel like, yes, the expectations for the Washington Commanders have changed. And I think it's only going to get better. I mean, this is something that we have wanted to see in Washington for quite some time, getting an identity, getting a franchise quarterback. And now hopefully we can start to see this defense get to where it was back in the day, and also to where Dan Quinn had the Dallas Cowboys defense. And so let me know in the comments what you think about the Washington Commanders and if their expectations have changed. And so as we shift focus and we look at the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders coming up this Sunday, just wanted to note that their tight end, the Cleveland Browns tight end, David Nakua, will be out there. I think he is questionable right now, but he's trending towards playing. And then Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be a game time decision right now. And so that could be interesting because he's been running the football very well. Just came off a great week last week. Obviously, we have Jeremy McNichols, and then we have Austin Eckler, who's been a full participant. So you can expect for both of those players to get some action. Hopefully, we can continue this trend of running the football. I think that that is going to be key as far as wearing down this Cleveland defense and Myles Garrett and company and slowing down that pass rush. So let me know in the comments. We have just one more day before it is game day Sunday. And so this is Rico. This is Washington Commanders Insider. We're talking Washington Commanders every day. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Peace.